I want to go over lower class limits, upper class limits, class widths, class midpoints, and class boundaries. I think these terms, which are all gone over, the book has a list of them on page 42, the beginning of section 2.1 if we've changed editions. But they can be kind of confusing, I think, the first time. And while that's not super important, it's important to understand the concepts behind them and, of course, to understand what the book is asking for or talking about when it references one of them. So first, lower class limits, that's as we look at a frequency distribution. That's just the bottom number here. So in this case, it is 0, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and 600. Upper class limits are obviously the other end of the spectrum. So in this case, 99, 199, 299, 399, 499, 599, and 699. So that's our upper and lower class limits. Now class width is the difference between a lower class limit and another lower class limit, or higher to higher. It is not the difference between higher and lower. So this is 100 minus 0, which is 100, or 199 minus 100. And obviously this stays the same no matter which two sets I use. But class width goes from lower to lower or higher to higher. It doesn't go within it. So if I look at this, I can see that this 100 lower to upper is 99. That's not what we want. We want to look from higher to higher or lower to lower. So that's, I think, a little bit confusing. Okay. Now, class midpoints, that's where we do use the 99, and we want to know halfway through that. So I take this lower versus higher, which is 99, right? 199 minus 100, or 299 minus 200. And I divide 99 in half, which is 49 and a half. And I'm going to then add that to the lower class boundary. So in this case, 0 plus 49.95 is 49.95. And then this is going to be 149.5, 249.5, 349.5, 449.5, 549.5, and 649.5. Oh, what did I type in wrong? Let's see here. 49, 249.5, 3. Oh, right here. 5. Okay. I got carried away typing numbers. So, okay, class limits then, lower to lower, higher to higher. Class width, that's going to give you the class width. And then when you do class midpoints, that's when you do higher to lower and then divide it in half. So that's the exact center of that class, which is 100 to 199, or any of the later ones. Okay. Now, class boundaries, what this tells us is what would round up to join this. So like when I look at this, 100 to 199, if I got 99.8, that would round up to 100. If I got 199.2, that would round down and join this class. Now, I don't know if blood platelet counts go that specific. Maybe it doesn't matter. But obviously, there are many things where this would matter. These are pretty much rounding boundaries. So when I look at this, I'm going to have 1 here at the other end. So in this case, this is negative 0.05, because anything from negative 0.05 on is going to round up to 0. Now again, blood platelet countlets, this probably has to be positive. So this might realistically, common sense, be 0. But the gist of it here is there's plenty of things, for instance, temperature, where this would totally make sense. I'm going to round up, a temperature of 0.7 to 0 if I'm doing it in whole numbers. I'm going to put it in that class. Okay, then I'm going to look here at the bottom, and this would go up to 99.5, because 99.4 would round down and join this, but then 99.5 and up is going to round up to the second class. Okay, so there's only one number here between this, at the end of class 1 and the beginning of class 2. These are the same numbers, right? That's the dividing line between where I round. So then I'm going to get the next one. I'm going to get 199.5, and then 299.5, 399.5, 499.5, 599.5. Now I'm going to have one final one here at the end of this, 699.5, because anything there, 699.4, is going to round down and join that class. And the idea being here, obviously, is that I would have nothing. See, I don't have anything in that last class anyways. I don't have anything above this value. Okay, so those are our rounding. So that's what those boundaries are. I think we can easily get limits and boundaries confused. Limits are what we actually have. So 100, 200 we have written. Boundaries are rounding barriers. And what's going to, what is going to, be shuffled into this class, even if it's not specifically in the limits. It's going to round up to whatever we've done. Now, these are as specific as the numbers. So if, for instance, these were, like this was 1.5 to 1.8 was the class, and I was doing points, first tenth, I was going by tenths, then my class boundaries would be in hundreds. Class boundaries are always going to be one more digit precise than the actual limits, because that's what you round to, right? I would round the tenth here up to the whole number. So if I was in tenths, then I'd need hundredths to round up to tenths, and so forth. So just kind of a thought there as well. Okay, now number of individuals include this survey. This is just asking you to add all these frequencies together. How many are these? So this is 3 plus 52 plus 81 plus 21, because I've got some zeros. So 157 is all the people who are in this survey. And this is always useful because depending on what you're doing, you're going to need that information. So hopefully this helps you kind of go over all these different topics, what they mean, what we use them for, and all that fun stuff. So hopefully this helps you with this section.